royal, noble, honorable brothers and sisters here in the United States of America and from around the world. It is only a little bit more than 3 years now, and it appears that every day is a very stressful venture. It is every day that new activities are revealed that not only expose illegal conduct, but are pretty much reflecting that on a daily foundation, in your taxpayers' pockets, leadership reaches for their self-enjoyment and self-enrichment. We have found nothing other than corruption. We don't see anything other than lies and deceit. And most importantly, we see nothing other than concealment. The whistleblower, and God bless him for having the courage and to come to the public, hopefully also soon, to communicate what really has happened in these very concerning affairs again. But not surprisingly, we are following a path down the road that reflects nothing other than the demeanor in 2016. It is in every aspect, not only, as we allege, an illegitimate presidency, but it's also a presidency that combines many people that have gathered for their personal benefit and that have created kind of like a solid conspiratorial structure from which they feed each other and also protect each other in the process. It appears as we have entered some sort of John Edgar Hoover times. Do you remember the times when Edgar Hoover was actually gathering information and intelligence on everyone? I allege that in fact the Trump camp is using intelligence communities from Russia and Saudi Arabia to gather information on everyone in the American Senate. The more information you have, the more dirt you have, the more you can control them. It is simply impossible that none of the Republican Party's members come forward with exposing the criminal conduct of this legislative office. It is also unheard of that the Democrats are unwilling to impeach finally Trump. Nothing in this world happens by accident. And I feel that if Trump would have the power to do what he wants to do, and if the Democrats would have the power to do what they want to do, then things would be quite different. But there's also this visual from Khashoggi's death still, that kind of like never vanishes and sort of connects Saudi Arabia with the Trump camp. Was it important information that he wanted to disclose that reflected on both families? What is the true nature of reasoning for Mr. Khashoggi's death? The root is always deeper. And one thing we have seen, that there's truly no guideline in matters of legality. When somebody needs to accomplish something like Mr. Trump, then he goes all the way. And whatever needs to be done will be done, and whoever will need to be sacrificed, he most certainly will. Either by tweet or by other means, potentially, as we allege. It is just not possible that we experience such silence. And it can be only the power of intelligence that has access to information that provides such power to silence others, to manipulate and control their attitude towards the law and this nation. It is, of course, just a thesis of Hermes Trismegistus, that if we really think about it, it makes total sense. The information that Trump wishes to gather, and which he also uses individuals like Rudy Giuliani, are informations that intelligence communities provide. And the fact of the matter is that I feel the time has come for some of those individuals from the intelligence community to just look at the case of Mr. Bauer and Eichmann and Israel and treason. There is potentially great value in information being provided to the public that brings clarity to everything what is going on here. Because after all, honorable servants of the Senate, and Mr. Trump, you serve the people, not yourself. And if you're feeding your golf clubs, if individuals enjoy being in Mar-a-Lago and your golf resorts, and to enjoy such benefits is for them a reason to be in full support of illegal demeanor and conduct that is daily applied, then I must say it is time that such corrupt swamp is drained. The last 3 years have been for the American people a tremendous torture. And it is not only that we are facing daily the threat of another illegal conduct to be exposed that lacks execution in matters of enforcement of the law, as the laws don't apply for these individuals, as these individuals very obviously oppose and fight whatever verdict is placed in their hand, because at the end of the day they don't want to release anything, no information. From the tax returns to even witness testimony, everything is oppressed. No individual here in this nation can do what these individuals are daily doing. None of us have the capability to manipulate and control the law the way they do. So when we communicate equality by law, it's a mere joke. Nobody can really believe it anymore. And I believe that the most important thing that we need to acknowledge, and this is directed to Mrs. Pelosi in particular, when from one day to the other, we can drift from a peace situation into a war situation like Iran. And from one day to the other, human life can be lost. And when from one day to the other, Armageddon comes to America, then you will understand what your obligation was in matters of impeachment. The psychological evaluation from numerous psychologists related to Mr. Trump's mental state of mind is not the best. And you are placing not only the people in danger in affairs of their financial existence, but also their health in relations to omissions and pollution, and in matters of their own life and safety, as a war situation at any point of time can be created. Your obligation towards the people is much greater as you are currently envisioning it, and your forceful act to restore some sort of respect for the law and justice is most essential. Mr. Caduceus and the Future Light Kingdom Party, today global political light movement with over 20,000 very significant followers, for which we are extremely grateful. We stand for unification because the strength and power we have as a unified nation, as a unified world, will allow us to become better in every aspect of our existence and operations. Mr. Trump needs to be impeached, and the Democratic Party has to remove themselves from this shadow. You are at the current time endangering the people of this nation, and I allege that. And every day that passes is another day in which injury will be created.